trainers. You've come across the Interdimensional podcast, Raising Dragons, and I'm Mama Swan. Today we're going to talk about interdimensional advice givers. No one from another dimension can actually and truly know what you need. You know what you need. You can feel it in your gut. However, no matter what abilities you have, you might not be able to communicate what you need for whatever reason. If you are having a struggle like this and are able to, it's a great time to dive into something artistic that you enjoy, and this is a good time to ask advice from somebody from another dimension. Sometimes you are overthinking it. I can't tell you how many times my co-dragon trainer will listen to me as I'm trying to problem solve something, and they just go, "It's not that big of a deal." And then I'm like, "Oh, then I'll just make a decision." And hopefully I know which one I liked better so that I don't overthink about which one I like better. It can turn into a whole spiral if I'm not careful. That's why doing something artistic and creative can also help you through your problem solving, because it just gives your brain time to focus on something else while letting the rest problem solve for you. It makes it less work while you're doing creative work. Creativity is a productive and acceptable use of anyone's time. Okay, let's say that again. You can say it with me if you need to or want to. Creativity is a productive and acceptable use of anyone's time. When I worked for one of the land-eating monsters, there was this term we used in the biz called flexing, and that's when you go from one role to another because there's a bottleneck and it's making production difficult. Well, this happens in real life too. Sometimes you need to flex to get your needs met. Like maybe you need socialization, but you can't leave the dragons alone and there's nobody around to watch them in their cave. Leaving the cave might be your preferred way of socializing, but if socializing is the need, then maybe you should call a friend and have them come over. Parallel play is a phase that we do not grow out of as humans or dragons. Vibe will be different with each person or dragon you invite into your cave. Now, if in the scenario where you're having somebody over because it's a need you're fulfilling, you do not want to invite somebody where either of you are going to have to be walking on dragon eggshells. That's kind of appalling if you think about it. As an interdimensional advice giver myself, I try to be very considerate of the fact that I don't know anything. Okay, that's not entirely true. I know some things. I know what I've experienced to a degree. When I'm the one giving you advice, I know what you've told me and I know what I've potentially seen if it's a in-person interaction. I very much enjoy my therapist as an advice giver. They keep up with the news. They understand me as a dragon trainer because they've trained dragons themselves. They're very real with me, which is something I need. I cannot handle like the professional level where we're liars. I don't like that. My favorite part is how often they will be listening to what I'm saying and then tell me a study, like studies show this, or this was in the newspaper, or a lot of people feel that way. And even best, that is totally normal for dragons. I often say on this podcast that nobody knows what they're doing, and I am specifically talking about dragon training when it comes to that. But we do all have experience, and that's worth tapping into. Even if you don't use it, it's worth listening to, because then if things continue to progress in difficulty, you have ideas when you run out of your own. Because I'm telling you, the minute you get comfortable and think that you know what's going on, you know what you're doing, dragons are going to prove you wrong every time. This has been Raising Dragons. I am Mama I'm a swan. And as an interdimensional advice giver, you probably just need more rest.